Dallas took game one. Dolphins first-round pick, defensive lineman Kenneth Grant out of Michigan, will get a 4-year contract worth almost $22 million. He was the 13th overall pick.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Kennedy, coming up Monday. The draft is done, mini camps are wrapping up, but it's never too early to tell you the biggest roster holes for Super Bowl contenders. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio.
Anybody out there who knows about me being a Knicks fan, they know exactly what that's like. Randy Scott is a devoted Raiders fan. If there's a tortured fan base and the Raiders fan base is not among the top 5, then you shouldn't have any tortured fan bases as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that. I mean, selfishly, I do. It has to be, I think, to fuel the torture, you have to have expectations or pride or both. And so for the Knicks, New York being the mecca of basketball at all levels, high school on up, New York is the most talent-rich environment in this country and has been for as long as I've been alive as a basketball fan. So for the peak of that to fall short the way it has in such an iconic building, such an iconic franchise, I mean, picture the. I don't know, I'm trying to think here. I want to make a Dallas Cowboys joke. I'm not going to do it to you.
Feel free. I'm a Cowboys fan.
No,
go right ahead.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You are?
Cowboys
How did
fan.
I not know this about Cowboys?
Yeah,
all right.
exactly, yeah. Feel free.
But it's a brand, a national brand that had fallen on hard times.
Absolutely.
Cowboys are probably still down there a little bit, right? But the Knicks, there's hope with Brunson. There's hope. There's a likability factor. There's a head coach who kind of knows what he's doing. Playoff, shortcomings notwithstanding. So I don't know, man. For the Raiders, it was once that, and it sounds like you're teaching a history class, just reminding people of it. No. NWA, no. There's a reason Cube is out there all the time. They mattered. They were a national brand. Yeah. My middle school, you couldn't wear silver and black because of gang affiliations.
Gang affiliation. Oh yeah, so you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that in New York either.
As a Raider fan, you'd have the script Raiders, the Los Angeles Raiders, right? You have it in your backpack. You throw that on the bus because you just, the rules didn't apply to you, right? You just look away. So are we doing our own answers?
Sure.
The Bills have to be in the conversation.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Four straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, they're like the most likable tortured fan base.
Yeah,
Bills fans.
They are. Well, yes, they occupy the razor's edge of we are going to throw bottles of urine at your bus. We're going to flip you off.
Yes.
Old women will flip you off, but we're also going to donate to the charity of your choosing and things like that. That's been really cool.
Yeah.
The Browns belong
in
the discussion.
Yeah, definitely.
The Bills have come so close and fallen short. The Browns would kill just to come close.
Yeah, they just so sad.
There really is what do you want to say? The whole to love and then lost and never have loved it all.
Yes, exactly.
It's been a long time since the Browns loved, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And the Bills have continued to love and just lost it. So it's different levels of sadness on this Love Friday.
It really is. But that's why we're here to make sure that whatever love you have for as a tortured fan base, you get a chance to express exactly how tortured you really, really are at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Who is the most tortured fan base? And if you're part of that fan base, tell us why. Rob in South Carolina, my friend, what do you got?
Oh, man. Appreciate you guys taking my call, man. I love listening to you guys on the way home, so appreciate what you guys do.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to say the most tortured fan base got to be my Chicago Bears. Man, we've been through so many quarterbacks and head coaches. It's probably been more than what a warehouse goes through with 10 workers, man. We've been going left and right, hoping we've had something. It's like throwing a penny in a well. It ain't happening for us.
Did you see the joke after the new Pope where they said Chicago produced a Pope before they produced a 4,000-yard passer?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. And Chicago is a great city. There's no doubt about that.
Great, not good.
Yeah, great city.
Yes.
Boy, do they love their Chicago Bears in that town.
Remember when the Blackhawks were rolling and they had 3 parades in the span of 6-7 years?
Absolutely. Every time you heard the song,
Chelsea Dagger.
Absolutely.
But those parades were crazy. The Cubs parade was crazy. When they get a Bears parade,
yeah, because they've only had one.
When they get a Bears parade, when we get a Bears parade, all right, Sebastian Maniscalco up there is the Grand Marshal. You seen these parades? When they get that locked in, it's going to be from Gary to Wisconsin, Gary, Indiana to Wisconsin.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's going to be East Chicago, from the border up the coast all the way to Sheboygan. I don't know, all the way Great Lakes Naval Training Center. They're going to have to bring out the Coast Guard. I mean, it's going to be such a party. I don't think they're close.
Yeah, no,
I don't think they're close just yet.
They want to get closer.
They're moving closer, though.
Yeah, they are. But believe me, if that happens again, they still talk about the Bears team that won that Super Bowl with great reverence, even more than 30-plus years later. I can't even imagine they get another one in Chicago with the Bears, what that's going to look like with
incredible.
that football team. It would be fantastic in that city as well. Alex in Tennessee, my friend, who's the most tortured fan base? And if it's you as a part of it, tell us why.
I got a handful of them, but when I think of the one that really irks me the most, I say handful of them personally. I'm a Titans fan, a Hawks fan, and for soccer, I follow Arsenal, which if y'all don't know, they're on their 3rd straight year of 2nd place.
Wow. Hang in there, bro.
But the Hawks kill me, man. Their only championship is with, St. Louis, and they got that by, trading away a potential Bill Russell, player who, if I don't know if you know this, but he was pretty good. They got one championship with 2 Hall of Famers. They traded for that, but that was in St. Louis. And then since they've been in Atlanta, I mean, it's just a myriad of good teams that can't seem to get over the hump. It was forever with LeBron James. I think they went 4 years. They went 0-32 against LeBron in the regular season and playoffs. And they were winning 50-plus games every year, with DeMari Carroll, Paul Millsap, Kyle Korver, Jeff Teague, Al Horford. Those teams were great, and they just could never beat LeBron.
That's
with the Titans, Titans got the Super Bowl their first year in Nashville, and they haven't been good since. So
that's a tortured fan who knows specifics when it comes to players. When he mentioned, and you can tell his age because he didn't even mention Dominique Wilkins for the Atlanta Hawks. You could tell his age when we had the best record in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. When we played Miami, lost in 4 straight because we couldn't get past LeBron and those guys, the Holy Trinity. Yeah. That's a tortured fan right there.
There's no shame in that, though. And that's what I was saying about Patrick up with the Knicks. Sometimes you're just born at the wrong time. And, it's the Andy Murray syndrome, right? To be Andy Murray as a tennis star is tremendous unless you're born at a time where you have to go through Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, and Rafa Nadal. Right. You're only going to get one, probably major, maybe 2. So,
and they also having the weight of a country on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Where before he finally broke through, they hadn't had a major champion since Fred Perry won Wimbledon back in the 30s.
Yeah.
That's the kind. It's one thing to have pressure.
Point.
It's one thing to have pressure from a fan base. When a country has fan pressure on you and they use history, we haven't had anything like this since before the war. Andy, please save us. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I know. It was frustrating for me. So I'm half Scottish. I'm half Irish. And so I'm watching and I'm expecting this is a Scotsman. That's part of what makes him so emotional and getting close and falling short. And then he wins and they're like, oh, what a win for the UK. And you're like, oh, dang it.
Exactly.
No. They may take our titles, but they'll never take our Murray.
They did.
They did. They couldn't wait to co-opt him right away.
Exactly. Named it gave him the OBE, Order of the British Empire, all that stuff going on and everything. They want, he's ours, not just yours. He's our William Wallace. You already had William Wallace as far as that goes. Jeremy in South Dakota, who's the most tortured fan base? And if you're a part of it, tell us why.
I'm a part of it. There's only one correct answer. It's the Minnesota Vikings. 5th best winning percentage all time, and all they do is keep choking and choking and choking. That's why we wear purple.
I never heard it put that way before. That's why we wear purple?
Yeah.
Because we keep choking and we keep turning purple and blue when they don't win?
I've never heard that before, but they have. I mean, what about the Randall Cunningham lightning in a bottle
season,
right? Randall to Randy. I mean, just
Chris
like
Carter.
14 wins. Jake Reed, whoever else was
like
on that team.
14-2 or 15-1, one of the two. Yeah,
and then Gary Anderson, right?
Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
They do have that great moment in the playoffs though over the Saints with the Hail Mary. You know.
The Minnesota Miracle, Stephon Diggs with Case Keenum, excuse me. They don't want to hear that, Minnesota. They do not.
The most tortured fan base. There's no question. Come on, there's other tortured fan base.
Hey, you're not a Vikings fan. You don't live what he's lived through.
I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah, Vikings fans will say they've been to 4 Super Bowls, and each time they got them, it got
Jets have been to one.
Worse. Yeah, but
it wasn't in my lifetime.
But at least you have that history. Vikings fans have to hear this passed down through history that each time they got to the Super Bowl, it got categorically worse. No matter who they played, it went from Kansas City to Miami and to the Raiders, and it got categorically worse for Minnesota. They don't have time for you to hold in that beer. As a Jets fan, I can promise you. George on the socials of Coleman ESPN and of Randy Scott ESPN, he says, as a longtime Oilers Titans fan, I still have nightmares of Kevin Dyson reaching for the goal line as he was tackled 1 yard short against the Rams in that Super Bowl.
But Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, listen, like we're comparing degrees of trauma right now. So everybody has a case.
Yep.
I don't want to step on anyone who might be calling in. Are there other, we're focusing on football. Are there other torture? Like I would have said the Caps until they won their cup. Because the 3-1 series leads that were blown, having to go against Sid Crosby the whole time.
Well, the most tortured fan base now in hockey is Toronto. They haven't won anything since the 60s.
Shout out to Ryan Matlack.
Yeah, shout out to Matlack.
Ryan Matlack, our resident Toronto Maple Leafs fan, believe me. He was there in Game 7 when Toronto played the Boston Bruins, thinking that was finally going to be the breakthrough for Toronto. And I think there's still a picture going around here in our offices where he's just staring at the ice. And I don't think he blinked until he got home.
Oh, buddy.
When he got back to Connecticut.
Yeah.
That's the torture fan base in the NHL.
It is. Yeah, it is. Okay, all right, so that's the NHL. Maybe we need to break it up by sport because I think comparing cross-sport pain, it just depends on what you value. Like we had the Arsenal fan call in, and he was like, do you know that we've been second 3 straight years? And you're like, oh, okay. Like that doesn't mean, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything to me, but it's his
across
pain.
the pond,
right?
It resonates with Arsenal fans.
Fair.
You're right about that.
Yes.
I mean, the whole, believe me, Liam Chapman, one of our direct reports, you can't get into about Manchester United versus Manchester and prepare for a great conversation and a great history lesson.
Settle in.
And I'm good with that.
Professor Chapman class is in session.
Exactly. Yeah. See, as we said, Ryan Matlack is like, this is going to be our year. This is going to be our year. More of your calls on the most tortured fan base. If that is you as a part of that, let us know at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Got my man Randy Scott in for Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman. It's Love Friday time on Freddie and Harry, presented by Progressive Insurance. There are ways that we have numbers for you, but the most important number is, how does that make your bank account better when Monday rolls around? That's what that number is all about. We'll do that if you keep it here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Tomorrow on ESPN Radio. Austin Riley leads the Atlanta Braves in a PNC Park to face O'Neal Cruz and the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And the Pirates win it.
Coverage begins tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern with first pitch at 4:05 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Progressive Insurance.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
We're everyday people doing good in our community. Our kindness runs deep, just like our blood. The same blood we donate to help treat sickle cell disease, which hits black people the hardest. Good news is, 1 in 3 black blood donors is a match for someone struggling with sickle cell disease. Stand tall in the eyes of your community. Donate today because our blood saves lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your donation.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Ben the Bear from Valley. VIP Auto Sales with an important message. If you're in the market for a car, truck, or SUV, whatever you do, don't buy brand new. Go to Valley. VIP Auto Sales. You save so much money. You could save enough to buy a house. Think new to you. Think Valley. VIP Auto Sales. The chemicals that cause new car smell can be toxic and may cause health problems. Whatever you do, don't buy new. Go to Valley. VIP Auto Sales. Don't worry about repairs, buying a pre-owned vehicle. Stay protected with a low-cost service contract that works like a warranty. Take your vehicle to the shop of your choice when needed and just pay the deductible at Valley. VIP Auto Sales. Our team of lenders will find the best interest rate with the lowest payment possible. Come in today, put nothing down, and make no payment for 60 days. Genius. Whatever you do, don't buy new. Go to Valley. VIP Auto Sales.
All financing on approved credit.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Today, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Sale sponsored by Hot Productions.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
At Papa Murphy's, we make delicious pizza.
Right, but you can't eat a pizza until it's baked, so doesn't that mean that I am the true maker of the Papa Murphy's pizza?
But Dad, doesn't Papa Murphy's hand make the dough, hand grate the cheese, and hand chop the toppings? Sounds like they make the pizza.
But I take it. I bake it to perfection, so I make the pizza.
Whatever, so long as it makes it into my mouth.
Right now, order the limited time Taco Grande pizza for pickup or delivery from papamurphys.com.
Score big with same-game parlays, now available at Turf Club Sportsbook. Download the free Turf Club mobile app to bet and win anywhere you play, dine, or relax at Northern Quest.
Curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Shop around, but don't miss Video Only. If you do, you'll be sorry.
Wingman's Word of the Day, brought to you by Espn Sound.
The word is Dallas. D-A-L-L-A-S. Dallas.
Learn how you can become a Wingman winner at 700ESPN.com.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Love Friday.
We want to make sure that when Monday rolls around, you had more on that day than you had going into the weekend.
Is it going over?
I think we're over.
Or will the under hit?
It's a lock. It's a lock, right? Wrong.
This is Hit That Number.
And we bring our man, the Eric Hanneman. That's his social handle. He's Eric Hanneman. That's his regular handle because that's the name his mom and daddy gave him.
Yep.
He's the one that brings the scenarios to the table, and we let you know exactly where the numbers should be hit. So, Brother E, the flow is yours.
All right, so following us here on ESPN Radio, we got Cavaliers and Pacers at 7 p.m. Coverage starts right after us here on ESPN Radio. So Donovan Mitchell's the guy we're looking at ESPN bet over under 28.5 points. Randy, will he go over under 28.5? Spida.
Oh, he's going over. Yeah, he's going over on the road. I think we got a 40-point game out of Spida Mitchell coming up. I think he knows that it's on him. It has been on him. And now that's not a lock for a win. He went for 40+ in game 2.
True.
It didn't work, but I think he goes big in game 3.
Yeah, I won't say 40, but yeah, I'm with Randy with the over because they're going to need him to go over the over. Even though Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, as well as DeAndre Hunter will be back in the lineup tonight, he was the best player on the floor for 3.5 quarters until he just ran out of gas. He'll have enough gas in the tank. I'm with Randy. I'll take the over involving Spida Mitchell.
Speaking of a 40-piece, Nikola Jokic went nuclear in game 1, but they obviously got blown out in game 2. So we're 1-1 back in Denver. And the number tonight on ESPN bet for Nikola Jokic is over under 28.5 points, Freddy's. Will the Joker go over 28.5 points?
Yeah, playing at home. I could see a 30-point triple-double from him. I could definitely see that. Whatever happened in game 2, they completely took that and said, let's just rip that up. But back at home, feeling pretty good, I could see a 30+ triple-double for Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I could see it too. I think he has it in him. I think he's going to need to. I think being in Denver, being at altitude, I think it hits teams differently. There was something, he fouled out in the third quarter of game 2. He was a minus 36. It was the worst of his career, playoffs or otherwise. I just don't see that duplicating itself. And I think he gets to 30 easily against the likes of Chet Holmgren and company.
Did he purposely foul himself out of that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little savvy vet.
He had enough for that. He's like, Coach, I'm good. I won't take one for the team. I'm taking one for me.
All right, game number 3 with the Knicks. Freddie up 3-0 or excuse me, 2-0. Wow, did I get a little ahead of myself there?
Easy Nets.
They could be up 3-0. Jason Tatum doesn't have a big game. He's in that Superman commercial, and he's going to need to be Superman in game number 3 for the Celtics, right? So Randy, over under 27.5 points on ESPN bet for Jason Tatum against the Knicks tomorrow.
I'm going to go under, but I think it's in a triple-double type performance. You know what I mean? He's already the best rebounder on that team. So I think it's a more complete game in a win for the Celtics, but I don't think it's an extremely high-scoring game. I don't even think he leads the team in scoring. I think it's like a 25-point night for Tatum. Or afternoon, I should say.
Yeah, afternoon. It'll be nighttime by the time the game is over, or close to. I'll take a little bit of the over. I could see him getting to 28, maybe 30. But the question is, what is he going to do in the fourth quarter? And if they don't have a lead enough like they had in previous games, that puts more pressure on a guy that's 1 for 12 in the field in the fourth quarter in the first 2 games.
All right, and then the second game tomorrow, of course, Warriors and Wolves tied at 1, going to Golden State now. That's also on ESPN Radio. Cover starts at 8 p.m. tomorrow night right here on ESPN Radio. Without Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler is going to need to step up, of course. The number's 22.5. Looks pretty manageable, but he only had 17 last night. So, Freddie, over under Jimmy Butler, 22.5 points versus the Wolves tomorrow.
Hey, Jimmy. He did the over. He's going to do with that. That's what Jimmy Mac's going to do. Yeah, I'll take the over Jimmy Butler. I think he gets to 25 to 26 points. He'll be that Jimmy Mac, not that Jimmy No-Show that we saw in Game 2 last night.
I'm just trying to frantically look up who's saying Jimmy Mac.
Martha the Vandellas. Don't play with me.
No. Hold on. Now I'm going to test. Hold on. Who's saying Jimmy Mac? When are you? Yes. Oh my God.
Don't play with me.
They were formed in Detroit. Yeah, of course they were. Yeah, Mr. Barry Gordon. Okay, all right. So, what was the number again? One more time?
22.5.
Over. It has to be. Now, I'm a little concerned by the fact that they knew going into this game that Jimmy would have to carry the scoring load because they knew that Steph was out as opposed to Steph leaving the game as he did in game one. I still think that they get it out at the Bay area. Ooh, they get it. I think they go. I think he gets 23.
I'm with you on that. That's going to be interesting how they come out in that game 3. Because, like I said, Steve Kerr last night, he used that game as a laboratory game. He decided to throw as many guys out there as possible. He had 14 guys that played Randy. I think he'll figure out exactly who he can put out there for how long. And that could be the difference why they may flip around in that game 3 that happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think knowing going in and building around him, that's it.
Randy Scott in for Harry Douglas, joining me, Freddie Coleman on Love Friday edition of Freddie and Harry. The most tortured fan base. Your calls at 888-729-3776. And no faith in the Celtics from who?
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
I'm Steve the Wingman with the 700 ESPN Spokane Sports Center. The Spokane Chiefs take the ice tonight in Medicine Hat for Game 1 of the Western Hockey League Championship Series. The Chiefs and Tigers only met once in the regular season. Medicine Hat scored 3 third-period goals to come away with a 3-2 victory in Spokane in January. The puck drops tonight north of the border at 6 o'clock. The Seattle Mariners are back at T-Mobile Park, and they start a 6-game homestand tonight with the first of 3 against Toronto. The Blue Jays start the weekend in 3rd place in the AL East with a 17-20 record. The Mariners are 22-14 and have a 3-game lead in the AL West. First pitch of tonight's contest comes your way right here on 700 ESPN at 6:40. And the Spokane Indians gave up a single run in each of the final 5 innings of their contest to Vancouver last night and lost 5-1. The Indians and Canadians meet up again tonight at Avista Stadium at 6:35.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
KXLA's Area Heights, Spokane. Broadcasting from the Turf Club Sportsbook at Northern Quest Resort and Casino Studios. This is 700 ESPN 105.3 FM.
Is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The top seed in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, are down 2-0 against the Pacers. Game 3 tonight in Indy. For Cleveland, ESPN's Jamal Collier says there's good news on Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter.
All three players were on the floor this morning at shoot-around for the Cavs. That in of itself is a step forward from where those guys were leading up to Game 2, when none of them were able to take the floor at all before that game.
Jamal Collier, our Game 3 coverage of the Cavaliers and Pacers starts at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and TV. Also on ESPN tonight at 10 Eastern, Game 3 in Denver for the Nuggets and Thunder with that series tied. Browns GM Andrew Berry tells 92.3 The Fan that it's increasingly unlikely the team will re-sign running back Nick Chubb. The Browns drafted running backs Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson. NHL playoffs tonight, Game 3 in Sunrise, Maple Leafs and Panthers. Game 2 in Winnipeg, Dallas and the Jets.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, we'll continue to react to the second round of the NBA playoffs, as well as look ahead to the draft lottery. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN and the HD studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Freddie and Harry.
Tony in Strong Island, what do you have to say about the Knicks' upset victory in Game 1 against the Boston Celtics last night, my friend?
Go New York, go New York, go. I just got to talk to Freddie. Freddie, let me tell you something. You've been 10 toes down all season, all in the first round about, our Knicks doing everything, telling Harry where to take his Caesar pizza. And then all of a sudden yesterday, you're like, well, you got scared. Come on, you got to stay with us.
Tony, I'm not banning my team, but
don't be scared, Mr. Freddie. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Listen, Miss Tony can say that. Harry, you can't.
This is Freddie and Harry.
With my man Randy Scott in for Harry Delgus, I'm just merely Freddie Coleman, but you put us together, and you have the best show on your radio. Love Friday rolls on right here on Freddie and Harry, presented by Progressive Insurance, and we are here on the ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80. Don't forget about us and tune in and tell that smart speaker of yours to play ESPN Radio. Keep weighing in. The most tortured fan base is who? And if you're a part of that, and why? 888 say ESPN, 888-729-3776. People hitting us on the socials at Coleman ESPN and also at Randy Scott ESPN. Ramon says, us Wizards fans, we have not won 50 games in my lifetime, and I was born in 1979.
Oh, yeah, Wizards fan, lay Wizard Rob. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I know. I have friends who are diehard Wizards fans. I'm like, still? How are you able to do this?
Why are you doing this?
I know.
There's other teams out there. If you really want to go and support that team, weigh in at 888-729-3776. Who is the most tortured fan base? And if you're part of that fan base, let us know why. A lot of people are feeling tortured in Boston, especially Celtics fans. It's one thing to be down 2-0, but to the Knicks? Yeah, a 20-0 lead in both games, a 20-point lead in both games in the second half. Well, a man who helped that organization win an NBA championship, Kendrick Perkins, back in 2008, he said on First Take on Thursday, Celtics coming back down 2-0.
And I'm thinking about how rocking the Madison Square Garden is going to be, the energy that's going to be in that arena. That's going to help the New York Knicks make shots alone. Role players are going to play better at home. Yes, this series is over. I have no faith whatsoever in the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown and Tatum to pull this one off. I'm sorry. I just don't.
So he's never going to be sorry, even when he's not being sorry. He is Kendrick Perkins, an FOTS friend of this show, ESPN NBA analyst. Hit him on the socials at Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick, that was yesterday. 24 hours later, you still feel that way or not, my brother?
Was that me?
Yes, that was you.
Oh, that was me. What's up, fellas? Happy Friday.
What's up, Kendrick? No, happy Friday, man.
I feel the exact same way I did yesterday. I'm sorry, I do. I mean, listen, everybody keeps telling me about what Boston is not doing and what Boston is going to do, the road record. What are the Knicks going to do? I still feel like we haven't seen a better version of the Knicks yet, especially Jalen Brunson. I don't think people realize what that game and that energy is about to be like in Madison Square Garden. This might be, and outside of the NBA Finals, I don't know if Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and the Celtics are ever going to experience a playoff atmosphere on the road like they're about to experience on Saturday afternoon.
Perk, talking about Tatum specifically, I wonder why he's capable of the low moments that we see in the postseason. And then it was a couple of years ago, he drops a 50-piece on the Sixers to bounce him out. How do you explain the lack of consistency from a guy who's all NBA now in the regular season come playoff time?
I don't know. And I think it comes down to it's not his skill, it's his mentality. At this point, like, it's at times of crucial moments that Tatum lose faith in Tatum. And we never see that with a guy like SGA. We never see that with a guy like Anthony Edwards, right? And it's something about, like, his confidence. And it's like he almost need, a key in his back. Well, certain guys, franchise guys, Hall of Famers, they don't need nobody to put a key in his back. So, again, am I disappointed in Tatum right now? Absolutely, I am, because I expected more out of him. I thought he was going to be pissed off throughout this entire postseason. And my thing is, last thing, I played with a lot of Hall of Famers. One thing all of them had in common is that when they wasn't making shots, they got to the free throw line. Jason Tatum is averaging 4.5 free throws a game. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. You got to put pressure not only on the opponent, but the official.
Kendrick Perkins, NBA champion, ESPN NBA analyst with Freddie Coleman and Randy Scott and Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio. That being said, because you also believe that Game 3 is a legacy-defining moment for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Based on that, what are you expecting from these two tomorrow in Game 3?
Well, I actually think the Celtics are going to win tomorrow, but here's the thing. I think it's a legacy-defining moment overall for the series. Now, if they lose the series, that's one thing, right? If they lose it in 7, lose it in 6, then we could say, okay, champs, y'all competed. This what happened, but y'all made it a series. You get swept or lose in 5, oh, this definitely is a hit on your legacy. And people, like, I was arguing with our good brother Stephen A. yesterday because he was like, well, Perk, you're wrong. Well, how am I wrong when isn't adding championships part of your legacy, right? And so they're going for their second championship. And they have the same exact roster that they had from last year. Like, I had them a heavy favorites to win it all this year. And now all of a sudden we're here where you're trending towards getting swept. The defending champs, with everybody back, are trending towards getting swept right now. Let's stop.
All right, the other half of the Eastern Conference semis, Perk. I mean, we see this 64-win team in the regular season in Cleveland, and now they're taking on water against the Pacers. So, is this a situation where the Cavs are done, or can they go into Indy and even this thing's up and steal 2 in their building?
There's no stealing 2 in Indy. I'm not saying they're going to get swept. When Indy is winning this series, I overlooked Indiana this postseason. I forgot this Indiana team went to the Eastern Conference Championship last year. Eastern Conference Finals last year. This team was right there in the thick of things, game 1, for us, like a turnover away from beating the Celtics to, like, shifting the entire series. Also, on top of that, every single guy that the Pacers have in their rotation has legit playoff experience. from the highs and the lows. And so when I look at what Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton is doing, and by the way, if you talk to any former player, go ask them. It is hard as hell. It was hard as hell when I was playing in the NBA, and it's still to this day to go play in that arena in Indiana.
No doubt. Kendrick Perkins, ESPN NBA analyst on Freddie and Harry with Randy Scott and for Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman on ESPN Radio. So I thought last night, losing game 2, that Steve Kerr, the coach of Golden State, once he realized that was not going to flip around, he went into the laboratory. He decided to play everybody to try to find the right combination. More than likely, Steph Curry is not going to be a part of this series. So now that that's out of the way, Kendrick, what kind of combinations can he put to make sure that Jimmy Butler is going to be more effective than what we saw in game 2?
That's not on Steve Kerr. That's on Jimmy. That's not on Steve Kerr. This is the one instance that I give Steve Kerr a pass. Look, Steph is out, dog. Steph is out, bro. You have to go out there and you got to put up at least 25 field goal attempts. You got to go. You got to come out and set the tone offensively early. Not five field goal attempts in the first half, 13 for the game. That has nothing to do with who's surrounding you. The Minnesota Timberwolves wasn't trapping him. Man, you have to be extremely aggressive. And I just think at this moment, what ended up happening is this. We can't expect too much out of Buddy Hield no more because, see, the luxury of having a number 1 and a number 2 option out there, and you're the number 3 option, is that you don't get the top 2 best defenders. But guess what? Steph Curry is not out there, so guess what you're going to get? Mm-hmm. You're getting now one of those top 2 defenders, which it might be Anthony Edwards, or it might be Jaden McDaniels. Mm-hmm. Now the game plan is surrounded by you, buddy, because you averaged in Game 7 and Game 1 of this series, Game 7 of the Rockets series, Game 1 of this series, 27 points. So now Steph out, now the game plan is around you. So it's all in on Jimmy, like offensive. Draymond, you see, he don't want to play unless Steph is on the floor. He was trying to get kicked out last night.
All right, so with regard,
y'all laughing because I know I'm telling the truth.
That's true. You're not lying.
He was trying to get kicked out last night. And everybody was like, "Come on, dog, what you doing?" He was trying to get kicked out.
Put it this way, Kendrick, as my dad would say, "You're not right, but you're not wrong," as far as that goes.
Hey, Perk, you played with, I'm thinking specifically of Kevin Garnett. I'm not trying to slight anybody. Maybe you played with an OKC or any other stops, but I remember you playing with Ticket, and I remember how on the line Ticket would play, like right up to the line. Use that energy, use that fire. And so I want to ask you, if you're a teammate of Draymond's, and you're looking at a guy who gets 2 more texts, and then he has to sit for a game in the playoffs, or however much longer the Golden State Warriors are in the playoffs, what are you saying to Draymond behind closed doors when the cameras aren't rolling, nobody's around, it's just you two? What are you saying to this man to try to, I don't know, keep him on the floor potentially here moving forward?
Well, I mean, honest question, what can you say to him? Draymond is supposed to be the leader, right? So at that point in time, it's like Draymond apologized. It's a pattern of behavior. He apologized after Game 6 in the Rockets series to his family, to the team. He came back. He had a better Game 7. He had a great Game 7, in my opinion. And then all of a sudden, when your team needs you the most, your leadership the most, you're down your best player, you're on the road, you got an opportunity to go 2-0, you spaz out in that moment. Like, not only did he spaz out, it was like if something inside of you got to click once the first person tell you, "Hey, Draymond, chill, man, it's a flagrant," after they done pulled you away from the official. And then the third player, and then all of a sudden you see Stackhouse and Steve Kerr. Steph had to get up off the bench, and I'm like, what is going on here? Is this the 4-time NBA champion defensive player of the year? Which, by the way, if there was anybody else that threw a temper tantrum like that after they got called for that technical, they would have got ejected.
That's true, too.
That's completely fair. By the way, on Kendrick Perkins, Johnny Carray Jr. is one of our fans. He loves you. He says his mother and grandma were born in Beaumont, Texas, like you were, my friend.
Hey.
So he done been down there. He done been down to Broussard's, Barbecue, Gerard's. He know about all the restaurants.
Well, thanks, Kendrick. Now we're all hungry at 5:14 Eastern Time on a Friday. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Great stuff, Kendrick, man. Talk to you soon, Big Perk. Thank you again, brother.
Thanks, Perk.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh, he's always fantastic. He's an FOTS friend of the show, Kendrick Perkins, ESPN NBA analyst on Freddie and Harry, presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. See if you can say progressivecommercial.com.
So I was working at Nesson in Boston before coming to ESPN.
Right.
And one of my beats, I walked in the building. They're like, hey, we have the Red Sox covered. We have the Bruins covered. Do you want the Celtics? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, do you want the Patriots? I was like, sure. But the Celts, they still had the big three. They were still going against Braun in Miami. And I was down there the last game before whatever little mini Christmas break the Celtics got. And I'm in the locker room after a win. Everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah.
And we're trying to talk to Kevin Garnett in this scrum. And I hear, yo, Ticket. Man, Ticket. And it like yelling from behind us.
Right.
And Garnett's ignoring it, but he's smirking because he knows that by ignoring it, he is annoying the person who is trying to get his attention. I said, yelling. And then finally he goes, man, KG, man, what? I'm trying to give an interview, dog. And he's grinning, and it's Perk. And he looks over at Perk, and Perk looks at him and goes, yo, Merry Christmas, man. Because Perk was walking out, and he wanted to make sure that he said Merry Christmas to Kevin Garnett.
Wow.
And the sad part of it was either that was the last game for Perk in Boston or it was one of the last because they're about to trade him as part of the Jeff Green deal to bring Green in. And that really broke up the Ubuntu vibe that they had put together and won the title with and the whole thing. Because it was such a special group, and Perk was such a special player and a special human being. And this was before he and I ever worked together here. But I remember he was going to get Garnett's attention to just say Merry Christmas. That's it.
Wow.
And I just remember this like, yo, Merry Christmas, man. Like, it was so nice. It was just
I'm sure KG was like, that's all this was?
And KG was laughing. It was like classic Perk. That was his man.
That was the last time that we had like a hateful rivalry in the NBA. When you had that Celtics team and the Miami Heat. They all could not stand each other. Rajon Rondo was on record saying, I would never play with those guys. I don't care if you put an Olympic team together. He couldn't stand LeBron. Paul Pierce, we knew he couldn't stand LeBron. KG hated anybody not wearing a Boston Celtics uniform. Kendrick Perkins and Ray Allen, they were like, That's why Ray Allen played for Miami. Rajon Rondo to this day is still sickened by that. He goes, I know it's a business, but them?
Yeah.
He played with them and him down in Miami? That was the last kind of hate rivalry in the NBA. Exactly. All right, the next person that doesn't like with a Celtics uniform is getting shot. Please believe that. That's what that was involved both of those teams.
Do you remember when D-Wade darn near broke Rondo's arm?
Absolutely. Oh, and
But you remember
never
that
forgot
dirty?
about that.
Remember that dirty play? I don't blame Rondo for holding a grudge. I really don't. And what you said about Ray being able to quickly put that aside to get that check, grab that bag, and go down to Miami. That's those are some hard feelings. It didn't soften too quickly.
No doubt about that. Who's that most tortured fan base, and what are you expecting this weekend in the NBA playoffs? We don't have to yell at you by going, yo, Ticket. You get a chance to talk like this.
Your opinion matters.
Okay, please call me. Please call me.
Call Freddie and Harry now.
Hello.
1-888-SAY-ESPN.
How's it going? Oh, hey.
That's 1-888-729-3776.
If you are a member of a tortured fan base, let us know exactly that. And what are you expecting this weekend with the NBA playoffs going to be in full swing? 888-729-3776. AJ in Florida, what you got for Freddie Coleman and Randy Scott on Freddie and Harry?
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
I have a self-inflicted torture as I am a Knicks fan, a Cowboys fan, and a Chicago White Sox fan.
Oh, Lord.
So it's been about 25 years since I've seen any sort of major championship. But I could have saved this for safe space at another time. Tried to call in there before for that. But, yeah, I'm feeling it, guys. So I appreciate you taking my call. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
At least he's seen at least one championship of the White Sox.
Yeah, 03.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, Journey up there
05.
singing Don't Stop. Oh, it was 05?
05, yeah.
All right, so 20 years. So 20 years.
It was the year after the Red Sox had to come back against the Yankees and won their World Series. It shows you exactly how the White Sox kind of are that team where even our man AJ forgot that the White Sox won in 2005.
Yeah, he said 25, but it's only been 20. But
hey,
still a long time.
He's just glad it wasn't 1925. that's all he cares about. He's glad that the Black Sox scandal no longer can be talked about in Chicago.
Shoeless Joe Jackson. No, the
if that fella's stupid, then he's dumb. Anyway,
the White Sox thing too, though. Like since winning the title, they've been a laugh. I mean. The laughing stock, literal laughing
really
stock last season.
Konerko retired, though.
The lows have been super low, is my point.
Yes.
So that's the thing. If you're the Bills and you're contending and you're there and you're going to 4 straight Super Bowls and then Josh Allen comes back and you're back and you have Bledsoe and you had a run, like you've maintained a national level of relevance.
Absolutely.
For the White Sox, you've been relevant in that you've been a punchline. For the Browns, you've been a punchline. Raiders, we've been a punchline. Like if your valleys are Marianas Trench worthy, sometimes the drought feels longer, I guess.
Because the Bills have not been a punching bag, like a national punching bag. You don't make jokes at the expense of the Buffalo Bills. Because when they're not so good, you're like, oh, but they're still a great story. That's the only game in town. When they are winning, more people want to see the Buffalo Bills win more than ever before, above Kansas City, above Baltimore, because they know exactly what they've gone through as an organization and what they've gone through as a fan base. And plus, when you have a team where that is the team in the city, it's not like in New York or Boston or Chicago, or Los Angeles or Dallas. Yeah. That's it. I know the Buffalo Sabres are there. Right. It's a Buffalo Bills town, not city. It's a town effect that they have in that area.
It's anytime a team like Green Bay could be an example of this, but they've been relevant, obviously. Anytime you have almost a collegiate fandom, a collegiate fan base, it hurts more. The highs are higher, the lows are lower. Like, it's a stock market. Like you're trying to maintain consistent growth here, and I mean that's what makes the droughts. So that's what makes the Browns quarterback jersey, the one that has all the names going down the back. That's what makes those stand out.
Yeah.
God, it hurts.
Yeah, it does. Tim Couch, Spurgeon win. Yikes when it comes to Browns fans. Ali in New Jersey, my friend, what do you have to say?
Hey, what's going on, Freddie?
What's going on, my man?
Talk to you. Man, I'm a New Jersey Nets fan. Who's more tortured than us? They took our team. Now with a second step, I don't even know what we are to the Knicks. We're never gonna win. We're like the Clippers West. Clippers East. I'm just wondering what you think about you being a Knicks fan, what Nets fans go through.
It's funny, Ali in New Jersey, because Randy will look at my shirt. I'm wearing my shirt today. The last great New York City player to win a championship was Dr. J. Julius Erving.
Okay.
When they were the New York Nets back then in 1976 before the merger happened, and then the 4 ABA teams, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Pacers, and the Nets joined the NBA. He's the last great New York City player or representing New York City team. Mm-hmm. And they were on Long Island. They weren't even the 5 boroughs. They were on Long Island. So believe me, as a Knicks fan, there was only 2 specific times that I was like, all right, I'm good not watching the Knicks. That was one of those times. When Dr. J had that team in New York, and they played the Nassau Coliseum. People that were Knicks fans were rooting against the Knicks to watch the Nets in the ABA. That's the kind of effect that he had on Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queen, and also Staten Island. So believe me, Ali, I know where you're coming from as that old school New York, New Jersey Nets fan. But Eric Hanneman, one of our 4 horsemen, he's a Brooklyn Nets fan. I just gave a history lesson. You've been tortured. You're always going to be the second team in that city. How do you feel like Ali in New Jersey feels?
Well, I didn't grow up in New Jersey, so I don't necessarily feel the move maybe as much as he did to Brooklyn. I enjoyed the move. It's cool. Brooklyn, we go hard. Biggie very represented in what the Nets have done. But, 12-70, one of the worst seasons.
Yeah.
I think the most losses ever to start a season in that season. Then we traded for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. That turned into Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for our number 1 rival, or one of our number 1 rivals.
Oof.
And then not to mention what happened a few years ago where they finally got KD, and they brought in Kyrie as well, traded for James Harden, and that was a debacle. So it's been pretty tortured as a Nets fan. There's no lie.
I have some positivity for your Nets fans, all right?
Yeah.
Please.
I love the direction going. Love the coach. Huge fan.
Yeah, Fernandez can coach, man.
Besides, for the folks there that attend basketball games at Barclays, you did see a team there win a championship in the New York Liberty.
Stop.
So there's that.
See?
Wow.
Wow.
He's not wrong. There was a parade.
Just like I told Kendrick
There was a
Perkins,
parade.
he's not right, but he's not wrong. He really is.
Oh, and by the way, That team, they're down 2-0, but they're number one team in the East. Who's their coach again? Oh, yeah, the guy the Nets fired because of KD and Kyrie. Kenny Atkinson.
Just can't.
For who? Steve Nash. Great coach.
Just can't seem to wake up from that nightmare, huh, Eric Edelman, as far as that goes. Keep weighing in terms of the NBA playoffs. And if you're a part of a most tortured fan base, tell us why you hope that your torture is going to end at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-376. My man Randy Scott in for Harry Douglas. I'm Freddie Coleman. It's Love Friday, Tom and Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. And you heard what Eric had to say about being the second team in New York to the New York Knicks. Well, what's really at stake for this team up 2-0 against the Boston Celtics after winning the first two games in Boston? We'll get to that after Randy gives you this word from Grainger.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Monday, the NBA playoffs roll on, and we'll react to all of the action as well as get you caught up on what you might have missed over the weekend. That's Monday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
Celebrating 25 years, Dynamic Decks.
People are always amazed what a deck will do to a home. A front porch will change the curb appeal of your home, and a back deck with a cover or outdoor kitchen or an operable pergola would completely change your outdoor space, and that's something that makes your home stand out, whether you're going to sell it or creating your forever home, whatever it may be. A deck is the beginning of a beautiful outdoor space.
DynamicDecksInc.com.
This year, repurpose your space with Croc Coatings. Whether it's turning your garage into a sleek home gym, transforming your basement into the ultimate man cave, or creating a cozy craft room, Croc Coatings can help you add more usable square footage to your home. They're proud to be the only certified dealer in the area offering Pentec Coating, a cutting-edge polyurea iso base that creates a chemical bond to concrete. That means stronger, longer-lasting, and stunningly beautiful floors.
Everything went perfectly. It went exactly as she said it would. The coating that Croc put on solved all the problems. Not only would I recommend Croc Coatings, but I have.
Croc Coatings is locally owned and operated and offers a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. So, what are you waiting for? Transform your home and call Croc Coatings today. Croc Coatings, turning your space into your favorite place. Save now when you go to croccoatings.com/radio. Croc Coatings.
Homebuyers, be honest. Does this real estate market feel a little terrifying? I mean, interest rates are high, prices are high, and the media? They can't decide if the sky is falling or if this is the bottom. Now more than ever, you don't just need an agent, you need an advocate. Hi, I'm Robert Henry, co-founder of Haven Real Estate Group. And at Haven, we aren't here to pressure you into buying. We're here to help you make the right decision, even if that means waiting. We actively search for off-market homes, help you interview lenders and inspectors, and we run detailed market analysis on every home you're considering. Why? Because you deserve to feel confident and secure in the biggest purchase of your life. That's what it means to have a lifelong agent, not just an agent interested in a transaction. That's what it means to work with Haven. Call us today at 509-590-4701 or visit havenrealestategroup.com.
55.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa this weekend only, today through Sunday. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates this weekend only. Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Spokane County Fair